Well, good morning from the middle of the mitten, Michigan's Lower Peninsula. My name is Carrie, and I'm coming to you from a small farm where I raise sheep and hay, grow grass for pasture, and try to keep a garden during this season. And this is Bailey, the farm dog. Try not to bobble the chair too much because I have the tripod sitting right here. And you may see a little smoke. Bailey and I are working on the yard and picking up some twigs and things and just having a little bit of a fire, and some of it's a little bit damp, so it may be smoking a little bit. Ooh, you didn't need to see me that close, did you? So anyway, this is going to be a quick update. I've been recording the podcast. I know this sounds like a broken record on how you sit down and you try to have a schedule for recording a podcast, and it just never works, does it? I had wanted to have a full episode out this first week of October, and that's not going to happen. But I want to tell you a couple of quick things. I want to update you on the Curio Stitches Knit Along that I'm running along with Susan from Wild Cottage, Ireland, Wild Cottage Knitting, and Elly, the pattern designer of Curio Stitches. And I also wanted to talk to you about an anniversary, and that is my podcast anniversary. It was 3 years ago this month that I sat down at just about this exact same spot and introduced myself to the podcast universe, the podcast universe, to talk to you about a small farm, what it's like to work a farm as you grow older and you face some health concerns, and how to keep things going. And a lot has changed in those 3 years, and a lot has stayed the same. So I thought it would be fun to have a special anniversary podcast. And so that will be coming up later this month. But in the meantime, this is the second full week of the Curio Stitches Knit Along, and we launched that a week ago, and that is to highlight patterns by Elly of Curio Stitches. And since we started on Monday, October 3rd, Elly launched the ebook collection of patterns for her Rune Casting collection. Now she has several other patterns too, but these are her latest, and these are the ones that several of us are working on, and I'm going to show you my progress here in just a minute. But that's the Rune Casting collection, and the ebook is now available. At the moment, you can only get it through Elly's website, and I'll put the link down below to Curio Stitches, or you can do a Google search for it. It's not on Ravelry yet, although I believe she intends to have it there before too long, but you can get it there, and that includes all 4 of the patterns, the individual patterns for the Rune Casting collection: sweater, mitts, hat, and socks, and then an additional pattern that's only available in the ebook, and that's for a very special project dear to my heart with my new little farm dog companion, Bailey, who's a very short-haired dog and who's always chilly. Well, included in the ebook is a sweater pattern for your beloved pets. Comes in several sizes, so dog, cat, all kinds of things, and I'll try to put a picture in here somewhere. So be sure to go and check that out. But if you would like to wait to purchase that, I'm going to do a giveaway in honor of my friend Elly and my podcast anniversary, and that is going to be, there's actually going to be 2 prizes. I'm going to do a gift prize, a package prize, and that's going to include the mittens, and I think I'm going to make it any mitten pattern that Elly has. She has a couple different ones. So if you don't already have one of her mitten patterns, I'm going to give away a mitten pattern, the yarn to make the pattern, and that's going to be our farm yarn. I'm not sure just which one yet. A project bag, and stitch markers or progress keepers, and maybe a few other things. So that's going to be a gift basket. Now, because of the cost of shipping, that's only going to be available to a winner within the United States, which is where I am. Shipping is just too unpredictable other places. So that package is, I'm afraid, only going to be within the United States. But I don't want to leave out my viewers because I have several who are in other countries. And so if you would be interested in winning a pattern prize, I'm going to also give away a copy of the ebook. So that's actually 5 patterns, and that's going to be any place you can enter to win, because that's a digital prize. So be sure to check that out. And I'm planning to draw for that on, on Monday, October 10th. So if you could leave a comment below this video on YouTube to let me know that, let's see, how should we make that? Let me think about this for a minute. Okay, I've thought about it. I guess I should have thought about it ahead of time, right? But if you will leave a comment below and let me know if you've been a viewer, a follower of this channel for a while, or if you just found us, just leave a comment to let me know that, and to let me know that you are interested in a knitting prize basket. If you are not in the United States, again, just let me know if you've been following for a while or if you're new, and let me know that you are interested in a prize, a pattern prize from the Curio Stitches Knit Along. How does that sound? I am on Instagram now. I think a lot of you have found me as My Wool Mitten Farm, so you can contact me there as well. And I just should say, well, my goodness, if it's not one thing, it's another. Okay, so I think I was saying that to enter to win the drawing, my podcast anniversary giveaway and Curio Stitches Knit Along giveaway, leave a comment here on YouTube and tell me how long you've been following the podcast, and let me know that you'd like to win. And again, the prize basket giveaway is only for the United States, and if I draw your name and you are outside of the United States, the giveaway will be for the new ebook for the Rune Casting collections from Elly at Curio Stitches. So yeah, I think that's I've got that correct, and that I will draw on October 10th. Today is October 4th, I believe, when I'm recording this. So just a few days to get your comments in. Okay, so before I close up this short video, I just thought I'd show you my progress. I had cast on the Jarrah Harvest mitts, and I had shown you the toe, and I do a swirl toe for my toe-up socks. And I did something a little bit different on my sock. Instead of waiting until I get to the cuff or to the top of the sock before I start putting in the patterns, I've started to really like having a little color work just below the toe of my socks. Gives me a little extra padding, and that's also where my socks tend to wear out. So that's what I did. And I also, instead of doing one symbol all the way around, I did 4, each to represent a letter of my name. And I'll talk more about that on the regular podcast, about how I came to decide on that. And I want to show you it. Now, I'm not very pleased with, I tried the Ladderback Jacquard technique, which I'm really excited about, but because I was learning it, I was a little sloppy with it, but I didn't rip it back. So you're going to see a few gaps. So I'm going to hold this up in front of my face so the camera will focus on it. So that's one side, and here's the other. And here I missed a row of color work, so I'm going to do a duplicate stitch. Fits perfectly. I'm using a size 4 needles. When I cast on with the double points, I had 3s and 4s. I've mentioned before on this podcast, I'm not real particular if I've got kind of a mixed set. And I did on this, I think I had 3 3s and 2 4s. But then when I moved into the color work, then I moved to traffic on my road. I moved to size 4, and that's what I've been doing. So anyway, that's my progress. But I may pause to cast on for the little dog sweater, because my poor little Bailey is always shivering. I'm going to put a picture in here for you to see her sitting by a little space heater trying to keep herself warm. And so she has a fuzzy blanket to sleep at night, but I think she would enjoy a sweater. And so when Elly released that, I didn't know that ahead of time, but I was just so thrilled because I'd actually been searching for dog sweater patterns. So I'm going to wrap this up now because I just wanted this to be short so I could get it up and out there. And I'll continue to work on the regular monthly podcast and check back in again with you then. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're knitting. I hope that you find some peace during the day, and even if it's just for a few minutes. I hope it's more than that, but I hope you at least have that. So thanks for stopping by to see me. Thank you to the many of you who've become dear friends over the years, who've encouraged me along the way, and I look forward to also getting to know new viewers better and to chatting with you at the podcast anniversary episode. So take care. I got to go stir my fire. You might see it's getting a little smoky. I'll talk to you real soon, and be sure to check out the Curio Stitches patterns for the Curio Stitches Knit Along. Bye for now. This is Editing Podcast Carrie popping back on just to say, I meant to mention, I told you that I was practicing the Ladderback Jacquard technique of carrying yarn when there's very long floats. And you can find that technique, just do a search. There are several places where they talk about it. And probably socks are not the best place to do this. I don't know. You don't usually see it talked about for socks, but I'm doing it for socks. I'm going to try it and see if I like it. So anyway, I hope that I can fix this or make my technique just a little bit better for when I'm doing the hat and the sweater. But I'm really excited about the prospect of using the technique. So search that out, Ladderback Jacquard. I think one of Elly's testers mentioned using that technique. So we'll talk about that again later. Also, Editing Podcaster Carrie stepping back in to just clarify a few things on the Curio Stitches Knit Along. It began the last week of September, and it's going to be running until the end of the year. Works in progress are allowed, any Curio Stitches pattern, and we'd like for you to be following along with each of us on our YouTube channels and on Instagram. And that is the designer, Elly at Curio Stitches, Susan at Wild Cottage Knitting, Wild Cottage, Ireland, and me, Carrie, at My Wool Mitten Podcast, My Wool Mitten Farm on Instagram. Sorry, anytime I start talking, Bailey thinks she's got to be protecting from who knows what. Something's going on across the road. Anyway, I mistakenly said there was a 15% discount until the end of December in the Knit Along, and that was wrong. And so I apologize, and if there's any confusion, please contact me about that. I do apologize about that. The discount code actually ended the 1st of October. And if I have that wrong, I'll try to explain it again. Trying to keep conversation going between 3 different time zones has been a little bit challenging, to say the least. So I think that's all the editing that I needed to do. And so my lunch break is almost over, and I hope to talk to you again real soon. Happy knitting!